The current job market is tough, and job seekers looking for that advantage need more than just a killer resume. Interactive Training Solutions is holding a public speaking workshop to teach you how to own a room. With us this morning is David Suarez, and he has some dynamic tips, all of which will be discussed at the workshop that can help set you apart. And that workshop is Thursday?
Thursday at 6:30, and it's going to be at FIU. Okay. And that'll be on September 3rd, so it's this Thursday coming up.
Come on out. So
right.
You have some great tips for people. It can be a little apprehensive to go out and take a room, but sometimes that might be a skill that you really need to get down. So you have some 5 wonderful tips that are going to help us own a room when doing a presentation.
Absolutely. Public speaking is so important these days. It's really important because as people in business, we need to go ahead and project confidence. Mm-hmm. And having great public speaking skills really allows you to be confident. So we try to help people in getting better at public speaking and presentation skills, and we do that by keeping them themselves. So that way they stay confident, they stay true to who they are, and I'll go ahead and start off with some of the tips that we have.
Absolutely.
The first one is about being grounded, and starting off with a grounded position. A lot of times we have body posture or body language that is really weak. So being grounded is really important, and being grounded means like starting off with your feet facing forward, instead of maybe having your legs crossed, or if you're standing, or if you're leaning up on something, which tends to be a weaker body position. We always like to tell people to have their feet about 6 inches apart and facing forward with their knees slightly bent. And what that does is it gives them a great amount of confidence to start off with, and it gives them a way to go and spring forward.
That's very interesting. It's something you wouldn't normally think of, but it's very easy to do. Just feet forward, because you would use a podium as a crutch, or lean on a desk as a crutch. Just be confident and stand forward, feet facing forward. Interesting.
And it keeps you like a loaded spring too, so that way you can move. If we get comfortable when we're speaking, our energy tends to go down. We become weaker. And that body position takes our energy from us if we're not grounded, if we're not like that loaded spring ready to go ahead and move forward. So that's why it's so important.
And it also brings up the energy of your audience as well. Because if you go down, your audience goes down and they start falling asleep and dozing off.
You know it. Exactly.
Hey.
You should be a pro at it.
Yeah, I kind of do it every day. So not a pro, but in the process.
All right, the next one is to smile. Smiling is great. It's exactly.
There you go.
It's a great way to go ahead and communicate to people not only what you're trying to say and deliver that message, but make an emotional connection with them. And smiling is interesting. If I say please, you would say
thank you.
Exactly. It's a mirrored behavior. So what that means, if I smile, you'll smile. It lightens the mood, it lightens the room, and it gets people engaged, which is what we're really trying to do here. And what we teach, we tell people we want to avoid disconnect. And disconnect is when people start wandering off, or they get on their Blackberries, or they start to think about something else.
Sure.
We want to keep them focused. So smiling is a great way to keep people engaged.
David, we're running out of time. I want you to give me the rest of the tips real quick.
Sure. The next one would be to walk the room. Go ahead and keep it dynamic, keep people awake, get their eyes moving. Another one would be, as we do down here, to use your hands. If you're going to talk about huge profits that you have coming up this quarter, using your hands is a great way to make that a visual aid instead of having to use PowerPoint and rely on that. And then the last one is to make eye contact. It's probably the most important thing to do. Spread that around. Let people know that you're talking to them. Make it personal, and that's so important in what we do.
And it's so important that you're offering these wonderful skills to all those watching. And I also want to point out a very interesting fact. Your company is actually based in, explain to me you have a comedy background. You do stand-up comedy. That's kind of how you started working your business plan.
Right. Well, it's actually improv comedy, which is very much where it's all improvised. And so that really relates into communication skills. So we can translate that into business. And it's really wonderful because we teach people how to be themselves and communicate at the same time and not be robots.
There you go. Don't be robots. So come this Thursday.
Right.
David,
absolutely.
Thank you so much. The Power presentation is this Thursday night from 6:30 to 9:30 at Florida International University. The cost of the attendance is $50. To register, log on to interactivetrainingsolutions.com.